and we know that their report in 2022 is indicating massive losses. But apart from what has been attributed to the domestic debt exchange program, it's also their own administrative and other related costs, that level of expenditure they themselves have reported, that seem to have incensed Ghanaians across all facets of our society. Because well, they are looking at monetary policy, and then the issues of fiscal policy also come in. We also do know that the central government had been preaching, austere measures, cutting expenditure. What about the Bank of Ghana? And so we'll be having that as well. And then subsequently, we'll also encourage you to cash out with us. As you do that, make sure that you memorize the short code. We have *439#. And then we have a conversation with the Ghana AIDS Commission. Their latest report is indicating a high prevalence or increasing prevalence of infections. Now, how are we dealing with HIV prevalence and eradication efforts in Ghana? Amid the latest report they've had, the age brackets, the regions, particularly the worker groups or the productive populations, we're opening this up. This conversation is for all of you, including us, of course. So Dr. Fred Nanapoku, Director Technical Services, AIDS Commission, will be joining us. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll look at that issue of migration among doctors and nurses especially, as well as other health professionals. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Who no like chop money? They want chop money is here. Collect your chop money every morning at 10 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Day 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Dial *446# to play Day 539 chop money now. Dewa,
The movers and shakers in the world of business and the academia come together for the Free Business TV3 Thought Leadership Lecture Series under the theme Ghana's Claim of Economic Self-Governance and Independence, a Myth, Reality, or the Need for a Paradigm Shift. The lecture will bring together economic gurus who will deliberate to find the way forward for the economy of Ghana. Main speaker Kwame Pianim, renowned economist. Panelist Mark Bedouabuaji, CEO, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Professor Godfred Bokpeng, a professor of finance and economist at the University of Ghana Business School. Joe Jackson, Director of Operations, Dalex Finance. Adobia Esiama Abuaji, Vice Chair, the Association of Ghana Industries, Tema Branch. Date, Wednesday, August 9, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. prompt at the Executive Theatre, TV3. Be part of this economic summit and let's move the country forward together. The Free Business TV3 Thought Leadership Lecture Series, exclusive to TV3. TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
Hey! What do you do with some cool win 2,000 Ghana. Okay. Here to Win game show is exactly what you need. It's the only game show where you are already rich before you begin to play. Every week, 2 lucky people stand the chance of winning money. All you have to do is go through some quizzes and fun games. Somebody from Peru is called Perusian. Whatever you say, you have to be proud because your family people are watching you. Somebody from Madagascar is called Malagasy. Correct!
Okay, let's go.
It's you that will tell me let's go. You are not even winning.
Okay.
Hold and stand and gently fasting.
Amazing. 5.
Just go.
Ayikwe Ama. Be proud. Okay. First of all, is Ayikwe supposed to be a man or a woman? Put it on your forehead. Ayikwe. Be a part of this game show right here on TV3 and take home some cash. Oh my God! Come join us on Here to Win game show where you win it all. Hey, yo, mama! Hey, mama! Hey, yo, mama! Hey, mama! Here to Win!
Here to Win, premiering on Saturday, 12 August at 8 p.m. on TV3.
10 valiant men, all poised to battle for their bragging right.
Old wine, say, proves as time goes on. The stars have aligned for us in this moment. Our time is now. We did not come to first hour shows. We came with our own. Fresh power, phenomenal strength, new and never seen before.
Who takes the title? Ghana's Strongest, the power to do.
Catch the new season of Ghana's Strongest Sunday at 4 p.m. only on TV3. Ghana's Strongest is powered by Gasem, the nation builder. Brought to you by Mixi Choco, Channel Hot,
Deluxy Acrylic Paint,
Drugnet.
The age-old rivalry that senior high schools engage in is still present within alumni. The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains even after school. If your school can cook, it means your school is here. If your school can boast of good culinary masterminds, this right here is the perfect platform to showcase that skill set. Alumni have met and they have chosen representatives to take up the task of preparing extraordinary dishes to bring victory to their respective schools.
Tell me what you're cooking.
Week in, week out, these schools will mount these workstations in a bid to buy your nutritional affinity to them. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your taste buds and fasten your aprons. These culinary experts are set to battle for the enviable crown of being tagged Lords of the Kitchen. This is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix
and Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye ono soko.
PGL.
Watch Isono on TV3 Mondays to Thursdays and stand the chance of winning amazing prizes. Now you can win amazing prizes in the Isono Watch and Win competition. Answer an easy question at the end of the episode and text your answer to 0550-052-927. You can win airtime weekly and other amazing prizes like spa treatment and hampers at the end of the month. Catch Isono on TV3 Mondays to Thursdays at 8 p.m. TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
pastor, me so me Rasta. Oh yes, star, me underground rapper. Movement, and this morning, whichever movement it is that you're embarking on, just make sure that you're doing the right thing. And of course, at the end of the day, we pray that God blesses your hustle.
It's always a prayer, right?
It is well.
Africa.
Yeah.
It is well.
It is well.
It is not well. It cannot be well.
You know, they always say that once you pray a lot when you're in Africa. The moment you travel and you go and live in the UK and the US, you stop praying about the same thing. God bless me with a job, bless me with money, because it's there, it's available. So is it about the system here that makes it, you know, very easy for you to find God, whether you like it or not? Because Charlie,
I think it is true.
It is,
and
right?
I have a friend, Edwin, in Canada, told me that. I mean, he moved from, is it ICGC or Harvest to ICGC, one of them. Great prayer guy, prayerful guy. When he went, Charlie, for clock the time and make the money.
Charlie.
I mean, he still did his prayer by himself, but you know, here the stigma is that if you're not in church, you know, you're not said to be worshiping, etc. And even your pastor could chastise you. It was not. And then I asked him, have your prayer points changed? And, he said yes.
They have changed.
Yeah, because immediately he got down, he got credit for a car, down payment.
God answered his prayers.
Mortgage, etc. And you know, those are some of the things that the advanced and developing countries have done.
Yeah.
That is creating the buffers for their citizens to be able to live well. And if you come to think of it, they are taxing their population to be able to give us enough either to go and borrow as grants, as loans, or perhaps give us as grants, that if we fall below that line, or even make available in the capital markets for us to go and borrow, of course, at a relatively high cost. But it's because they always have to get it from their citizens or whichever worker population that they have. And that is why our politicians and those who tend to manage the economy have citizenship for their children and their spouses, etc. They go to the best schools out there because, I mean, you're going there, the buffers are there for you.
Exactly.
And I think that it's high time sometimes they try to replicate some of these things right here.
It's important. And I saw a tweet from Sadiq Adams just yesterday, about 8 hours ago. He says that you cannot say, for instance, that the leaders of the oil-rich Arab countries are clean from corruption. They live ostentatious lives and spend big. But the moment you touch down in their countries, you can observe the quality of life of their people and their advancement. At least the taxes and resources are used for the betterment of the masses. That is how to steal, in quote. Come to my hometown. It's really sad. And speaking of which, I mean, things are so dire that we're losing our nurses and our doctors. They're leaving in drones to see greener pastures in, you know, quote unquote, the more developed countries. That's what we're discussing this morning. Now, well, this morning we're asking that question: what can we do to ensure that our nurses and doctors don't leave us, you know, and travel to other countries just to make life better for themselves? They have the skills, and that's the problem. They have all the skills that are required. Remember that at the time, the UK and the US were asking for some nurses and doctors from Ghana and other African countries to travel to their country to work there. So we decided to hit the streets to find out what exactly we could do as a nation to ensure that we keep our skilled labor here. But before that, I remember that Dr. Titus Bayo, at the time, before he went into politics, I mean, he served as the General Secretary for the Ghana Medical Association, and he was decrying this problem. I remember that he said that he wasn't going to give any figures, but I remember that was an interview he had with you. He says, I can give you some examples. I will give you a unit in one hospital. I won't name the hospital, but it's a big one in Accra. From January till now, and this was in 2022, 5 doctors have left that unit. This was May 11, 2022, and he was saying that so many of them are leaving. And then just about a couple of weeks ago, we also heard from Dr. David Tinkran Chum, the General Secretary of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, and he was saying that some 10,209 nurses sought clearance from the GRNMA Secretariat between January 1 and July 7 this year to leave the country for greener pastures. Out of that, 4,000 were cleared, and they've already left the country to work abroad. That's between January 2023 and July 28th, Let's listen to Perpetual. She's the head of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Let's hear.
Our colleagues emigrate out of Ghana for greener pastures, and the workload continues to increase on us. In some units, we know you are already burnt out because that kind of specialized units where you are working in requires specialized skills. And all those colleagues have done what?
At this job with a lot of passion until they realize that we lack equipment, the facilities are nothing to write home about. I mean, you remember the surgical unit at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital, and that's something that Johnny really hammered on. It was in very bad state, and this was just a few months ago. And the nurses were asking that if you leave us to work in a place like this and we have a better opportunity out there, what stops us from going? We'd rather choose a softer life than this. We still want to save lives, but we have to save ourselves first. Just yesterday, a Nigerian nurse was buried. Guess what? So she got into the elevator in one of their big hospitals, and the elevator sunk, and she died. It sank. It fell on from the top onto the ground. Derailed. Okay. And they kept saying that this is something they had complained about for many years, that elevator had a problem, and nothing was done about it. And one of their very own people, unfortunately, got in there and lost her life. And I mean, Nigeria is just close to us. We also have our issues here. And the doctors and nurses will tell you, and well, we'll pick some phone calls at this point. I want to hear from you. What do you think we can do to keep our medical staff here in Ghana so they don't leave us and go out there to save other lives when we are also in need of that kind of attention? Call us and let us know. It's a sad situation.
It's a very sad situation when you tend to take a look at it, because averagely we're supposed to be having at least for 10,000 people a medical staff, or let's say doctors and equivalent of nurses, about 49. And currently that's not the situation in Ghana. And even though it's improved, the World Health Organization standard is 1 to 1,000 averagely. That is for those average poor countries. Even that one, we're not.
Nurse?
Yes, 1
to 1,000 people.
Averagely, you see, the doctor to the population ratio, for example, it has to be 1 to at least 1,000.
It has to be 1 to 1,000.
That is if you don't have any at all.
Oh, okay.
We currently are around 1 to about 6,300.
Hold it. You know what? We have a caller. We'll come back to this figure. Ajiman, good morning.
Good morning, Bella.
Thank you so much for joining us. Do you work in the medical field, first of all?
No, please. I don't.
But what do you think can be done?
But I think it can be done to help sustain the medical practitioners in these countries. You know, the facilities that they have are inadequate. Frankly speaking, they are very, very poor. And they are living under a condition where it is not suitable for anybody to contain. Besides, they all have a family to feed. Everybody wants. The fact that they are helping this country doesn't mean that they don't have anybody to take care of. They are working to earn salary. It is fine. It is good. But they're supposed to live in a certain condition whereby it's going to help them to do the work in a very enthusiastic way. The work, sometimes when you go to some facilities and you see the area, you see that this is not a good place for them to live. Go to the foreign countries. The work will, the atmosphere over there will let you do the work with all your mind and heart. The facilities, the whole, everything there is going to, even if you're not getting paid, you're going to see that you're supposed to work your ass out. But here, look at our places. It is not well organized. So when they go there, they're sitting down there and receiving people and then treating them well. Though they are treating them, but the atmosphere over there is compelling them to go somewhere. And the salary too is meager. Look at the working, look at the cost of living in this country. Every now and then things are going up. They have, maybe someone is having 2 children. They have a husband, maybe she has a husband, but she's supposed to help the husband. Things are not turning out. things are really not turning out. The public workers are really suffering. Frankly speaking, they are suffering, and they are supposed to go where they will get something to help their family. Actually, they are supposed to help their family. The fact that they are protecting us and then helping us regain our health, it doesn't mean that they should abandon their family and then live in a very proper way. No, you're supposed to go.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this matter. I mean, I think he hits the nail right.
Thomas Avoka on our stream says it will take a nurse, average nurse, over 100 years to get $1 million. That a politician. Well, but at the end of the day, there are some key concerns, and I believe that once we're not meeting the average marks to per population ratio as set out by the World Health Organization, then we have to be told what really are the strategies for us to be able to train more. Because even those that already we've trained, we're not able to be in a position to even deploy them. I have this one from Lawrence, who says that my wife is a nurse. She gets that if she gets a chance, she will go. Myself, my wife, I'm a teacher. If I get the chance, I'll leave. But I don't think everybody has to be in a position of despair, so to speak.
Well, Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning.
You're calling us from Akosombo. Thank you so much for joining us. Speak to us, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. I want to give
Emmanuel, your line is pretty bad. Can you just reposition yourself? Let's see if that could work.
I think that in as much as a lot of our doctors and nurses are living out of this particular country, the leadership of the Ghana Medical Association, including that of the nurses, I think that they are not doing a very great service to us. Because if you look at the medical schools now we have that of University of Ghana, we have that of UCC, we have that of UDS, we have that of the University of Allied Health Sciences. So you just imagine, even if all these particular medical schools are producing even 150 doctors a year, can you imagine even the number of clinics that will even have doctors? So maybe going forward, what I think that maybe government should be doing is to really look for people who want the job, not people who want to enter there only to travel. So maybe what government can do is that it can provide some special kind of funds so that it can help pay fees of maybe the nurses, some of the medical doctors, and put them on bonds. So that when the person finishes, the person can work for maybe a period of about 5 to 6 years before maybe his bond period is over. I believe that when this particular call is made, people that are actually admitted into the medical schools and the nursing profession will be people that really have that kind of feeling at heart. It should not be people who just enter there and they want to travel. That is my humble appeal to you.
Right. All right. I think we're all very close to medical people, whether those in practice or those who are just out of school. They are not getting posted.
Exactly.
Especially those out of school. Exactly. So, and we shouldn't not have in mind that they haven't been bonded. They have been bonded. At least those who have been trained from the midwifery and the other training colleges, they have been bonded. So the question is, why are they then leaving? Then the greater concern is that you're having experienced people, like for example, Moajima is saying the wife has practiced for 12 years, is willing to leave. Many of them, even sometimes the modalities for which they leave, they go out there and go and find that I'm only going to do palliative care or some other care instead of just core nursing, because the other countries also have a certain criteria, the examinations you have to write before you get into the NHS or the other health systems.
And as at November 2022, the 2019 groups of nurses, a group of unemployed nurses at that time, they were saying that 10,722 of them had not been employed, the 2019 group. So that should tell you that, yes, we're churning out quite a number, but we're not posting them, and that's where the problem is. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am fine, Bella. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hey,
and I'm
sure this is your voice you are using to speak to.
Sexy voice this morning.
No.
But sorry, I didn't quite get your name. I know you're calling from Tamale. Moses?
Yes, my name is Moses. Yes,
Moses, you're welcome. Speak to us, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, quite an interesting topic. Yes, but then I must congratulate you all, TV3, for making us always enjoy your morning show.
Thank you.
Just to add to the topic, you see, we have to properly diagnose the problem before we can begin to find solutions to them. What is the problem? We have a high cost of training. When you look at the nursing schools, the cost of training is high. When you struggle and finish for 4 years, okay, including your national service, you are made to sit for like 2 to 3 or more years before you are employed. My dear sister, where are you getting the money to fund yourself? Then to have to sit for like 3 to 4 years before you can get job to do. And even if you get the job, an average nurse takes like 2,500 a month. Come on.
Yeah.
Can the person survive?
Yeah.
And these are some of the problems that are compelling the thing you don't want to leave.
Well, unfortunately, we've lost our caller. We hit the streets as well to find out what people thought. Maybe later we'll play it for you so you can also get an idea of what the situation is. But let's cross over now to Johnny's Bites.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Wednesday, my day of birth. Welcome.